Don't take grades so seriously. I am a person that since I can remember in school, I was always very responsible in terms of academic activities. However, little by little since high school, I took another turn in my life that honestly I am proud about it because I know that it's something sustainable and valid. And I don't have to worry so much about grades. Obviously, I try to have my limits and know what I feel comfortable with. Understand that a 93 is not so different from a 98. That this doesn't reflect if you know more or less. It only reflects that you dedicate more time and effort to that. And each one can decide how much time and effort he dedicates. And knowing that school is not everything, and I'm saying this because of what I have experienced in this first year of my career. My story is divided into parts, these two very similar events, but handled differently. My first university exam against my last university exam that was this morning. I remember that for my first exam, I was super nervous for weeks before the official day because I wanted to start with a good motivation and believing that I could do my best. I arrived in a new city, 6 times bigger than Torreon, which is where I live. I went from living in a place where everyone knows each other, or at least you have an idea of who is who, to a university where you find people from all over the country and even from different countries, each one with a story, with problems and worries, and you became just another point in the city. Well, yes, that makes you feel somewhat intimidated, but at the same time excited by everything that can be done and that you can achieve in this city. And that's why I was clear that I want to study really hard. It was also going to be very easy because I didn't know anyone to go out with. So even if I didn't want to study, I wasn't like I had something better to do. I started every day for exam. I read daily, even on weekends. It was like when I woke up, and almost automatically I sat at the desk to keep going with my lectures. I used to stay at tech at 9 in the morning and leave at 10 at night alone because I didn't like to study in a group. Um, well, that's how the day of the exam came. My first subjects were anatomy and digestive system, and I was sure that I knew every bone and muscle, every digestive enzyme, and every nutrient absorption mechanism. Back then, everything was still online, and I think that it helped the pressure to be much less because it helps you to feel very relaxed. Well, after 3 hours of the exam, I finished. The results automatically were in my email, and I waited until evening to see them. And I can probably say that I got an A in both subjects. In one, I had a wrong answer, but with the way they qualify medicine with the standard deviation, I got an A and finished my first exam with a perfect average. Where the well, well, I felt so good, so happy and fulfilled. But suddenly, it was gone. It was something very momentary. Then I realized that it wasn't worth amount of social and mental confinement for a grade. That we are people that, after all, we are social beings who are more pleased with something more than just learning. So I put my experiment into practice, explore. I was going to see how much I could balance my life outside of studying with my grades. So I put into practice since I started this semester. It all started with recording everything about my life and sharing it, which is another topic where my goal was to lose some fear of the camera. It ended up being something that I really like and makes me feel more open and honest. The result was that I began to say yes to everything: conference, courses, workshops, parties, meals, trips. And that's how it was all this year, diversifying my time, not only for the grades. Of course, all this had its consequence because the stress that comes from having to study an entire semester in 2 weeks is something that I don't wish on anyone. However, the day of the exam was the one that defined everything. I woke up and started thinking about how my first exam was. That time, I felt very stressed and anxious, but this day I was very calm and simple. I was ready for whatever. I went to the gym. I had a very comfortable breakfast. I took a shower, went to the hospital, and got there. It took me almost as long as the last time, and I will be honest, I didn't know the answer for some questions, but I understood that it's a very logical thought in medicine. So well, the exam was over, and I saw my results almost immediately. And this is the best part. I saw my results, and in general, they were 3 tenths lower than my last exam. And that's when I understood everything. I wouldn't change any experience or relationship or whatever I did this semester for 3 tenths more. I understood that a grade, no matter how cliche it sounds, it is just a number. It doesn't define you, and the grades shouldn't control your life.